So I would like to start with this great song you sorted out. Can you share with us what it means to you?
Thank you so much, Annabelle. This is such a beautiful way of starting a conversation, to take the moment to reflect, immerse, and then relate to what we have experienced. So for me, the song was a very beautiful song because Coldplay, of course. We love
Yes,
Coldplay.
of
I
course.
love Coldplay.
Yes, me
But
too.
the paradise, you know, I think it's like a very beautiful metaphor of that butterfly that is ready to fly away, or maybe to run away.
Yeah.
And this girl, this little girl, she's amidst all these challenges in her everyday life, she finds a moment of peace and tranquility when she closes her eyes. And yet I think for me this song is so beautiful because on one level it seems so simple and beautiful, but on the other level it's very, very deep, deep and deep in a way that it caused a lot of resistance in myself when I heard it for the first time. So it's like this song is propagating for running away, closing the eyes, not being with the present moment.
Yes.
And I myself, I was trained in a mindfulness tradition where there was a very famous song or statement that you say, a cloud never dies. And a cloud never dies because we have everything here in the present moment and we actually don't need to run away from anything. So it's like there is this multipolarity in the song. And this multipolarity is, I think, just a beautiful way to reflect on life every day. It's the sun and the moon, the day and the night, the feminine and the masculine. And both are true at the same time. And we as human beings, we're somewhere in between these spectrums. Or can we maybe transcend these two poles, and instead of running into paradise, can we touch that paradise in the here and now, and knowing that paradise exists with us and not needing to escape the reality to be in paradise. And this is something I think is really relevant to this Empower podcast, because when we have the skill to be in this present moment in paradise and know that paradise is with us in every breath, in every closing of our eyes, then we are empowered to achieve the unthinkable. We don't need to become that butterfly and leave somewhere into the nowhere.
It's so important what you are saying. And it's really touching me when I saw that you sorted out the song, because the song means a lot to me. And yes, it's exactly what you're saying. Stay in the moment. Um, Stay in the moment, not run away. Just breathe in, breathe out. Just see the wind above you, the clouds above you, the ground you're staying on. Um, the breath you feel in your nose, everything you feel around you, just feel and stay with your five senses. Something like this can be the paradise around you. It's such a small environment already, right? And what you said, this one word, mindfulness, I think this is so important. As when you talk about mindfulness, and I get to know you that way, it's not just mindfulness, it is also heartfulness. And I would like to talk with you further about it in a few minutes. So after the commercial break, we will continue our conversation. We've covered some intriguing topics in the last minutes together with Yip, and now we will continue our conversation. We started our conversation with this song you sorted out, Paradise by Coldplay. And as summarized before we went into the small break, that I had a feeling when we got to know each other that mindfulness means more to you than to some other people, which think that that mindfulness is something which is just here, and forget that it's also here. Do you want to explain a little bit about that, what mindfulness not only means to you, but also how you bring mindfulness in your everyday's life?
Wonderful question. It's a question we could share many hours to ponder upon, and I'll make it short for now.
There's need for that.
But you know, thinking about what is mindfulness could be an exercise that could last a lifetime. So I will give us a little teaser, and then we can all go home and keep reflecting on it. So for me, mindfulness, and there are many, many, many different definitions, that I would give my own definition. And this is about understanding a community. Understanding already has two elements in it: to stand under. To understand community means to stand under community. And standing, you know, what does it really mean to understand something? A lot of times we have conversations and I would say something, yeah, I truly understand you, or I understand this topic, I understand. I actually think that's a good moment to take a pause and reflect if we really understand by the meaning of true understanding. True understanding means there's this German neurobiologist. He speaks about understanding, verstehen in German. It says standing. How can we understand something? It actually means it needs to go down through our body into our 2 feet. And this means we have embodied that topic of understanding. To embody has also an invitation to an act, you know, to use our arms. Begreifen, we say in German, begreifen, to touch something, to take something and to embrace it. Right? So this understanding is, I stand under something, and to stand is wholeheartedly, whole-bodily, embracingly. And what do I stand under? Well, in my definition is community. What is community? Community is when you take just the letter, it can be communication and unity, right? Just to make it very simple. Unity you can even break further in you and I. So for me, understanding really means to understand community, to understand you and I, and all that makes us you and I. Not you and I only as separate individuals, but our interconnectedness. So very simple question turned into a very philosophical debate. And each of this, you know, is a module in itself, a module as in a life chapter in itself that one could explore forever. And for me, understanding was like a quest to understand life, understanding what, you know, that light without shadow. What is that light without shadow? That means I stand under a source of light in a way that that light gives no shadow. Very, very simply said, I stand perpendicularly under a source of light that guides me, so it leaves no shadow. And what is it that makes me wake up every morning, that guides me, like, you know, so deeply, wholeheartedly, embracingly, that I live my life in a way that I feel that I'm aligned with that inner or outer light that gives me the meaning.
I like your answer very much. It touches me. And I think you show perfectly that it doesn't need to have a show, a glimmering, huge chakra to understand things. It is about us. It's about the small things. It's about it's about the meanings. And we can understand. We have everything in us, and we can understand things from the easiness, from the ease. As you said, the light can't be there without the shadow. The shadow is not something which is bad or good. It is the opposite, and we need this duality. And I couldn't say it better than you. I couldn't say it more intense than you, as you described this understanding and community. And I think it's a perfect way of a trial to give people an idea why they have to also step away from the ego-oriented, but from themselves, away standing idea of the word, because it's often just a run where they run away from themselves. And how do you describe it? It's a perfect description which contains everything. Now, where you're describing these elementary things of human being with these few words, but which are very deep, and seeing you also with your spiritual side, which is not a kind of spirituality, a kind of, hey, tarot cards and no and event here. It is a kind of which lays in yourself. And this is the spirituality we all need, I guess. And then combine it with artificial intelligence. This step is great and so important from my point of view. And I would like to ask you about that, because often when I look into the man's world, there are the men saying, oh, great, it's artificial intelligence, let's go there. And they want to get every gadget. And but I miss often that what you just said. It's this deepness, it's this understanding, it's this embedding AI into our today's world, but our ecosystem, which is more than just something which comes from economy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say a few words about that? What it means to you to embed the word of artificial intelligence, technology, a speech comes from is driven further by machines, how this, what it means to you, but maybe also the chances and challenges for us?
Yes, totally. This is such an important topic. In particular, when I think about what you mentioned in the beginning of the show, the quest for equal opportunity in this life. We spoke a little bit about what does it mean for me to be a human. And I think one of the life meaning giving purposes in my life has been my mission to close the gender equity gap. And being a strategy consultant, I went about it in a strategic way. I looked at the economy. I studied business for many, many years, 3 degrees in just understanding business and capitalism. And what I noticed was a lot of what today we measure in terms of economic prosperity is driven by organizations that are of technological nature. You would look, for example, one proxy would be looking at the most capitalized companies or projects in the world. And you would see that most of them would consist of the American Silicon Valley tech companies. And this has been the case for the past couple of years. And we have good reason to believe that this trend is going to continue in the future. So I looked at who are the ownership structures, the ones who founded it, the ones who hold significant shares in it, in companies that have a chance at becoming these large drivers in the economy. And I noticed it's tech-driven companies, and tech of today might be tech of tomorrow. Like that, which is a baby right now, might become a significant value driver of the economy and of our society, therefore, of tomorrow. And then I saw, wow, there's a big gender equity gap. And this, is nothing new. It's not news. But it is news when you think that when women nowadays don't join the value creation process, then they will not benefit from the upsides, from the economic upsides that these technologies bring in the form of ownership. So of course we can be employed by this technology sector. We can join in and get our salaries, but the bigger problem is our salaries are kept in upside. And when an entity creates more value because investors come in and support everyone, brings a little bit of capital together, but those who will benefit from that increase in the value are non-women only. then basically we will end up again in 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years asking for equal pay. But I actually think the bigger problem to solve is to ask for equal access to opportunities to
Yes.
benefit from the upsides of tomorrow. So
Yes.
AI. Should I take a break? Because I'm just like been giving a long explanation, not having really answered your question.
But you said something really important, because it's exactly that what you're saying. I mean, AI gives us a chance to decide or to drive and support us for the future, and we should play a role there. And it should be equality there with that what the algorithms build. And yes, it's exactly what you say. And this is why it's important that people like you are in the world of AI, because you have understood that it's not about ego. You have understood that it's not about, hey, we have to fight against the man. It's about to drive further an ecosystem. It's about drive further a world worth living in for all of us, for equality for all of us, right?
Yes, I want to make a point to AI. Why is AI so special, and why are people really scared about AI? Because some of the researchers, or actually even probably more than the majority of the researchers in the fields, would assume that within the next years, maybe as soon as 2029 already, not too far away from now, we would reach human level AGI. AGI means artificial general intelligence, which is the next step of the evolution of the wisdom or the skills, capabilities that this technology has. So there are the other half of the researchers who think that this might still be 30, 40 years away or not achievable at all. But there is a chance that by 2030, intelligence and artificial intelligence will develop capabilities that enable them to have something called reasoning and understanding in the same way that humans do. And at that moment, there would be the singularity. Collectively, we would have a situation in which we could benefit a lot from this intelligence that we have created and contributed to create. And then the question is, how do we understand life, and what's our relationship to this intelligence? And depending obviously on our views of what is a desirable relationship between man and the machine, or the intelligent machine, we have different ways of reacting to it. Typically, yeah.
And isn't it that it completely asks us to change the way of understanding of our lives, life's triggers? Because if you look at today's world, a lot of people understand world and life about a lack of something, the lack of enough money, the lack of enough awareness, the lack of the right work. So they're always in the lack of something. But having or reaching a state of having everything, no need to work, maybe no need to this and that, what will be the sense of human life for many of these people?
Yes. And these questions are questions, I think what I have seen in my work trying to close the gender equity gap, and we have achieved a lot of success within the recent years in the field of blockchain and Web3. What I've seen is most of my female peers, maybe the feminine way of looking things is, I, don't care about this kind of just gold digging, just the gold rush and just benefiting materially. But I want to contribute to something that shapes human history, that has a meaning, that makes our life on Earth a more fulfilling life. And when you kind of start to understand, wow, if we really agree that we want a future that is life worthy for many of us, for all of us, for me and my beloved ones, depending on the scope of your your of your desires, or visions, then what we see that all of a sudden women understand that, yeah, we have to discuss ethics. We have to understand which values are we optimizing for, what should be, when we are now building this intelligence, the function we are optimizing for. Yeah, will it just be reproductivity? Will it be amassing of wealth? Or will it be something that catapults us all into a higher state of consciousness? And if we kind of start to think about these things, all of a sudden it becomes very interesting for many of my female peers, because then it's not about technology and programming and mathematical algorithms. It is about understanding and contributing to shaping a technology that can help us solve a lot of complex issues. And in order to really tap into the full potential, we have to start learning and understanding what are the key elements. And all of a sudden, we feel like we are in the position to contribute and significantly contribute, because without our voices, things might go, you know, in not not such a holistic way. Many blind spots are there, and we cannot blame those who are at the moment shaping it to not see the blind spots, because we all have to contribute.
Exactly. The responsibility is in each of us, and we can't say just no. And it's such a shame, Yip. I would have ages to talk further with you, and I think we should think about the second series. For now, I would like to end with a few hacks you would like to give to the audience about well-being, about your way of life, which you would like to share to others.
So there's one hack that I just want to share with everyone. It helped me a lot. And that is as simple as every day at 4 p.m., I ask myself this very simple question. If I were to die tonight, did I live a meaningful life? And then the answer can be anything. Often yes, sometimes no. And if the answer is no, which happens a lot to me, then I'm like, what is missing? How can I step one step closer to my fulfilling life? And that can be as simple as, Anabel, you've mentioned it already earlier, go out and experience or sense the sun on my skin, the air on my skin. And that already makes me happy. And I do that every day. And we get closer and closer to the yes, I lived a meaningful life if I were to leave tonight.
Yes, you're so right. Life can be good. Life can be so easy. So thank you very, very much, Yip, that you took the time for engaging in discussion and giving this insight that define you as an inspiring personality. I very much look forward to our ongoing exchange and the impact we will continue to make world a better place. So thank you for so much for being here, and looking forward to talking further to you.
Thank you so much. It was a joy being with you.
Thank you.